Hi, I'm Kayla Carper,
And I'm Nick Pond.
and this is NCTV's Open House.
We have a long line of stories today, the first being Airsoft with Kevin Thompson.
Hi, my name is Kevin Thompson. I'm here at American Freedom Airsoft with Mark Briggs, the owner of American Freedom Airsoft. Mark?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Alright, and this is your locally owned business spotlight. What is your take on new kids trying to get in airsoft?
Oh, I love it. It's the best thing in the world for them. They get to learn gun safety, they get to learn what guns are, they learn that they're not toys, and they actually get to learn with everybody else. And they get taught by older kids, so there's a big mentor program in it, so which is really good for everybody.
How much you want for one like that?
What's that?
How much you want for one?
This one is $1,000. It's a cheaper price pointed weapon, but built really good, real strong. Good for beginners and for advanced, because you can easily modify them.
Oh geez. At first, I was sitting way up here, and I'm like, oh okay, so I just kind of corrected it. But then as soon as I saw these impacting, that's when I was like, oh, I know exactly where I'm hitting now.
If you want to get into something in the hand, close hand, maybe 1911s. That's the Elite Force 1911. Good, reliable CO2 cartridge weapon. Good for training. Good for airsoft.
Okay.
So, just good all-around gun.
Try before you buy firing ranges. You see behind me.
With the way you're holding it, she's running about 3 inches high. Solid state all the way around your face. No way for a BB to get around no matter where it gets. Focus on that. We focus on gloves. You're wearing the knuckle busters. You know, they're solid poly knuckle. The reason why we wear those is when you're holding your M4, that's where you get hit a lot is your knuckles.
Oh yeah.
You know, and if you get hit within a close range, you can crack a knuckle.
Hello, my name is Kevin Thompson. I'm here with Caitlin Cooper. Caitlin, what do you think about NC?
NC is pretty great. We have a lot of different clubs and activities, ranging from like sports to anime club to video game club and chess, and we have a ton of different stuff that kids can do, and I think that it's cool that we have so many different kinds of activities you can participate in.
Okay, and what clubs are you currently in?
I am in anime club, video game club, and thespian society.
Okay, and, okay, do you like NC?
Yeah, I'm a senior this year. I've gone here all 4 years of my life, and my mom graduated exactly 20 years before me, actually, so it'd be cool to get to be here since she was here.
Okay, and this has been Kevin Thompson. I'll be back with you guys shortly. I'm going to send it back to the newsroom. There you go. Back to you guys.
Our next story up is the anthem.
We built this new building, tore down our old gym, you know, that had been there since 1929, and a lot of history there, you know what I mean? Gosh, from all the great kids here and people here. I mean, there's been presidents speak in that gym. There's been a lot of stuff happen there. Well, there's some of the old carriage collection photos, or really old photos from the 40s. 48 star flag that hung on the west wall. That was before you had scoreboards and stuff, electric scoreboards. Used to be manual scoreboards over where the old announcing table was in the gym. And those were, so you had that whole wall along the west side, and then there was windows all around the top of that gym. You know, it was really a beautiful building. Some of that got closed in when they built the newer gym and those things, but there was a huge 48 star flag that hung on this west wall. And so we'd been talking about, you know, we've got this big wall here in this big building, and that'll be here probably another 50 years, you know, and so we thought we would kind of have a nice flag dedication, involve all the kids, their OTC particularly in it, and the band, and we've been trying to do a fireworks thing, you know. It's always kind of fun, and the technology with that has all changed, so you can do them right off the turf now. And and that's always been a hang-up, and it's always been a hang-up with the fire department. But we've cleared all those hurdles, and so it was a fun deal.
There are many veterans that work at NCHS. Recently, we had an assembly to celebrate them.
Happens to be an English teacher here at NCSD, and she also loves Lord of the Rings.
Let's learn a little about Mrs. Bollenberg.
My favorite book? Can't ask an English teacher what her favorite book is. I don't know what stands out about me. I guess maybe my weird hiccups. I hiccup strangely. I think also just my passion for learning. I'm interested in pretty much everything, and one of the greatest parts about working in a school is I can duck into classrooms all the time and learn what the kids are learning.
You have my sword.
Okay. So what's up with Viggo Mortenstein?
Well, my first name actually came from the Lord of the Rings books. My family is obsessed with the Lord of the Rings.
So, do you try to instill any of Aragorn's values into your own classroom environment?
I don't know. I guess I would like to. I know that we definitely try and instill Atticus's values into the classroom, and in some ways they're the same things: honor and bravery, and like never giving up and stuff.
Frodo.
Well, Viggo, she's a pretty great teacher, isn't she?
Yes.
Well, see you next time.
Does anyone remember the Mustang Pride coins from last year? They got a little bit of an upgrade.
This year we are attempting to be a little bit more purposeful with our positive behavior system. Specifically, we've incorporated Mustang Pride coins into NC's campus. We did something similar last year. We had these coins that were distributed to students that displayed really good ethical, positive behavior. And we've carried over that tradition to this year with the Mustang Pride poker chip. I really like the Mustang Pride token. Last year we worked collaboratively with the school to kind of come up with a good idea to reward kids rather than punish them all the time, like every day with all the punishment, every day, every minute, and it just drug us down. So we thought, what a better way to engage kids than to reward them for good behavior. So I am on board. I love positive behavior models, and so I was on board last year with the coin and this year with the poker chip. I think it's good stuff. Students can earn a poker chip by displaying good moral and ethical behavior. Every adult on campus has received the poker chips, the Mustang Pride coins, and they will give them out for whatever they deem is appropriate above and beyond what a typical student would do here at Natrona County High School. So good grades doesn't just warrant a poker chip, and just because you are nice to people doesn't mean you're going to get a Mustang Pride coin. You have to show that you're a good and valuable Mustang or filly. The Mustang Pride coin is really going to help kids academically because it's going to let them see that it's not just about getting good grades. It's about behavior, it's about doing what's asked of you and what's not asked of you. And when you kind of think about things holistically, and if you like what you do and you're confident in who you are, then that will of course transfer over to your grades and how you do in the classroom.
Next on the list, we have live music.
Let's go, Zach.
I'm so sorry for the delay. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm literally feet away from my news guys. But anyways, I'm here with Coach Jurgensen here. Coach Jurgensen, what do you do here at NC?
I teach ninth grade history over in the MAC building, and then I coach indoor and outdoor track.
Okay. And what is your favorite program here at NC?
Oh boy, there are a lot of them to choose from. That's pretty tough. We've got great activities like you can see behind us, the Performing Arts kids. We've got AVP, which you guys are a part of. We've got excellent athletics. Foreign language does a great job. We've got the IB program. There's a lot here to offer.
Okay. Well, thank you, and back to the news guys, like feet away. Back to you guys.
Here we have an interview with Donald Kaiser, the DECA instructor.
Every year, DECA hosts an international service project. This year, they're hosting a food drive at NCHS. Donald Kaiser has more.
DECA is a co-curricular activity, which means the things you learn in the classroom you apply to the competitions. We have a meet in the fall, and then we have a state meet And at our fall meet, we had 7 brand new kids, never done it before. And of those 7 people, all 7 of them were in the top 4, and 5 of them were in the top 3. So every year, DECA has a community service project. And as part of that project, International DECA tells us that we should do a food drive this time of year. And so every chapter in the state does food drive and participates in the community service project. Then the state chapters in Wyoming get recognized at the international competition. Right now we have a box by the new Mustang Market, and we're stacking the food in the window as we go along. And there's a box down by the Copy Center in the MAC where they have a Coats for Kids box, and then they have a food drive box, and we bring the food over here. As they start filling up over there, we'll bring them over here and stack them in the Mustang Market.
DECA encourages you to donate to their food drive this year. You can donate either in the Commons area in front of the Mustang Market or in their drop-off box in front of the Copy Center in the MAC.
Do you like English? Do you like horseback riding? I really hope so, because our next story is English riding.
My grandparents had horses, so I always liked to ride them. And then I got into English when I got riding lessons from my parents for my birthday. And I liked English because you get a jump, and that's fun. English riding, probably about 4 years, I'd say. Well, it depends on what event you're doing. If you're doing show jumping, they're more like that, where they're like made out of plastic or wood or something. But there's also cross-country jumping, where you ride through like ponds and you jump over logs and that kind of thing as well. You don't really win a whole competition, you win classes, which I have done. Definitely the jumping. Platte Ridge Equestrian Center is where I board my horse and take lessons. He is 11 years old, but he acts like a 2-year-old. I have fallen off multiple times. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a scar there from when my horse stepped on my face a little bit. There's lots of different types of horses that you can use for jumping. There's Irish sport horses, some people use thoroughbreds, mine's an Oldenburg. He was originally trained for dressage, which is like the fancier movements you see, and they kind of call it horse dancing sometimes, but it's a lot harder than that. He just really likes to jump, so that's why I use him. You have to train the horse to jump, yeah, but you can basically use any breed. I've jumped like short, stocky halflingers, and then him, and he's tall and thin. It's definitely a lot harder than it seems. You're not just sitting on the horse. You have to make sure they don't turn out or fall or murder either one of you. It depends on the horse, really. He really caught on to it. One pony that I used to ride, it took me about a year to get him to actually jump.
KCWY on the fair stories. Here you go.
NCTV student reporters, along with NCHS instructor Lance Madsey, have joined the ranks of KCWY, and they're bringing us the unique vision that is from the fair this week.
That's right. Tonight we have NCTV student Katie Peters, who hit the fair and traveled into a weird and strange world full of sounds and colors.
That's right, Joey. It was a strange and wonderful world where the street vendors of yesteryear were brought into an industrial building.
Oh my gosh, I've been on so many rides. I need to take a break. I think I'm gonna vomit. What else is there to do? The industrial building, filled with commercial exhibits and displays. I think I'll check it out. From dead rattlesnakes to child evangelists, the industrial building is full of interesting sights and sounds. A great way to escape the heat and pick up a souvenir along the way.
Well, in the spring and the fall, we'll go out with our buckets and catchers and go to the dens and catch as many as we can, and then my husband drowns them and positions them, freeze dries them, puts them in a freezer. And my husband did it in Texas for about 5, and we've been doing it here for probably 5 or 6.
Well, this is Child Evangelism Fellowship, and what we do here is we will paint the faces of children while we tell them a story from the Bible. I have been working with Child Evangelism Fellowship for 3.5 years now, but CEF's been around since 1937. It's an international missions organization, and we teach children about Jesus.
I'm doing caricatures. These are kind of, I call them quick portraits. So they're not exactly supposed to be accurate portraits, more just a whimsical caricature, cartoon. I've been doing this about 28 years. I used to do it summers while I was teaching school, and decided this was more fun, and so we do a few fairs a year and do some malls.
After our excursion at the fair, I'm feeling rather two-dimensional. I think I've had enough for one day. This has been Katie Peters for NCTV reporting for Channel 13 News.
Wow, I didn't know my chin was that big. Joey?
Don't worry, Katie, your chin is lovely. Tomorrow night, NCTV student reporter Alan Barber will be dealing with his fear of carnival rides.
Joey, a Rodetto is a rodeo with timed events, roping, and ranch horse competition. However, my journey to this Rodetto started with a freakish accident. I was really excited to face my fears on Channel 13 in front of the entire Casper community. But little did I know, this experience was going to go horribly wrong. Sir, give me some tickets. I'm ready for the power. Boy, you ever felt the power? Well, my fear of carnival rides is still present, but the Rodetto's going on, and seeing as how this is where I landed, let's go check it out.
One, Raycon, you're up, followed by Tanner Hunt, Trophy, Apple Twist.
I started about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, we travel all around the rodeo. Actually, there's a couple of us girls that are in an association. It's called the WJRA, Wyoming Junior Rodeo Association.
How long have you been a horse, Shiny?
About 15 years.
And what do you think of your owner?
Owner? I don't have an owner, Jive Turkey.
This has been NCTV's Alan Barber reporting for News Channel 13. My neck is still hurting from that fall, but I think I'm still going to go check out the last Rodetto tomorrow from 7:30 to noon at the fairgrounds. Joey?
Thanks a lot, Alan. I would think a lot more than your neck would be hurting after that fall. Join us tomorrow night as NCTV student reporter Katie Peters returns to News 13. We'll learn more about why people enjoy the carnival rides.
You're watching KCWY, NBC for Wyoming. This is News 13 at 10.
Thanks for staying with us. All week, we here at News 13 are putting on NCTV student reporters to work. They're covering the Central Wyoming Fair and Rodeo.
That's right. NCTV reporter Katie Peters is back to News 13 to fill us in on how to have fun at the carnival in case you don't know how. Katie, what do you know?
Joey, a carnival is defined as a traveling amusement show, usually including rides, games, and sideshows. This tends to keep kids busy and parents' wallets low on cash. It's a great package deal. I'm so excited to be at the fair. Let's check out this ride.
It's a fun time, pick up a lot of chicks.
I usually go every year. This year I've been here a couple times.
I found it! The most exciting ride at the fair! And I think I'm ready for it.
It's just the G-forces. You come down from the top and it's like, whoa, man.
ride. So I get to see the wonderful view. This has been Katie Peters from NCTV signing off for Channel 13 News. Friday is Kids Day at the Carnival. Noon to 5 p.m. is $10 and 5 p.m. to midnight is $20. Hope to see y'all there. That means all y'all. Joey and Mary Beth?
Okay, Katie, we will try to make a plan to head there after the news tomorrow night. And by the way, just let me quickly tell you, that was a special effect from a story last night of yeah, exactly, getting tossed up. No one was tossed off the ride. Everyone's okay. Be with us tomorrow night on News 13 at 10. NCTV's Dylan Drake joins us as he battles an addiction to fair games.
All this week, we here at News 13 are giving some lucky reporters a chance to work in the real world as News 13 reporters. We now join News 13 and NCTV student reporter Dylan Drake, ending the week with yet one more amazing story from the Central Wyoming Fair. Now, Dylan, I hear you like fair games, right?
That's right, Mary Beth. Tonight's story is very close to my heart, closer than I would like. I'm here at the fair, and I've been here literally every day this week. I've ridden all the rides, I've been to the industrial building, I've seen the 4-H shows, and there is nothing left for me to do.
Dallas, what's your name? Rolling the ball, there's your ball. If you bounce your ball off the table, bounce your ball to another table, I'll give you another one. Don't chase it. Roll, it's pressing. I spent $50 sitting right here playing the derby. They keep going and going. They love the derby.
Keeps going and going. Loves the derby. Am I becoming addicted?
Addiction basically is two things. One is continued using or doing of something even after it's already caused you consequences. And the other is impaired control, where a person, instead of using the substance starts to use you.
Right there. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, I had somebody come in here and they've spent $30, $40 to play, shooting and shooting and kept shooting and winning.
I personally like the prizes, and they're addictive because you play them and you just get addicted.
There are lots of things in life that involve adrenaline and the rush and the risk, and people can get addicted to risk.
Well, after spending a day here at the fair, playing all the games, I think I'm going to go to rehab. This has been NCTV's Dylan Drake reporting for News Channel 13. I've been clean for 6 hours now, going on 7. The fair is going on until tomorrow at noon to midnight, but hopefully you won't see me there.
All right, well, hang in there, Dylan, and the KCWI 13 crew. We'll see you there as well. And we want to send a special thanks for all the hard work for the NCTV crew and their stories this week, and wish you all the best of luck in all your future stories.
Hi, I'm Dean, and this is Tristan, and this is Open My Eyes. Open up my eyes to the great unknown. See it touch your face, covered in mistakes. In 1,000 years, will it all drift away? After my years are gone, will it all remain? You rescued me, took me by the hand, you took my pain away. Open up my eyes to the great unknown. Everyone else is gone, 'cause they chose the right path. Staring at these hands, covered in others' blood. A few more curses that will end the human race. You rescued me, took me by the hand, you took my pain away. Don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes. You rescued me, took me by the hand, you took my pain away. rise to the great unknown. Boom.
And I am back here with Ryan Koenig. Ryan, what do you do here at NC?
I'm big in the drama department. I am both an actor and a stage techie, we are called. The best thing to do is techie because we get to set up lights. I like to run the soundboard, which is cool. You can set up these lights back here, which is what I did.
Oh, but you see them? Yep, there they are.
Yep. I got to set up those lights back there, and that was a lot of fun. Basically, I've been in a few plays. I can act as well.
Can I? Okay, and what productions have you been in with here at NC?
I was a backstage stage crew at Charlie Brown. I was in Cinderella as a backstage manager for Stage Left. There was a lot of work at that show.
Oh, yeah.
I've also been in 2 arena plays for our state drama event, and the second one, Twilight of the Golds, we brought home a 3rd place trophy.
Awesome. A little side note, I have also been in Cinderella, Follies, and recently You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Anything else?
No, not that
All right,
I know of.
I want to thank you, Ryan, and back to you guys.
People start off in the industry just kind of doing whatever they can.
Coming over this, and it's a bit more entertaining.
Right. Anytime I see a dinosaur and it doesn't like roar like that, that's not a real dinosaur. Come on. Like,
You got a dream. How many of you have dreams?
This kind of event is so important for so many reasons. I mean, it teaches you, how to be creative. It lets you be creative, which is awesome. I think every kid has a creative and artistic spirit.
Last year, when I came to this festival and met Lance Madsey for the first time, I was thoroughly amazed at the amount of talent that I saw on the big screen. I was just filled, beaming with pride, seeing the amount of quality. A good portion of the films that I had seen last year are stuff that would be unquestionably seen on IFC or even on Netflix.
So it's always nice to see somebody like thinking out of the box or just kind of really using their mind and just making what they want to make.
Accept that. It can be disappointing that you spend 6 months or a year pouring your heart and soul into a screenplay and it may never get produced.
Acting should not be acting, it should be reacting. It shouldn't be like, oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. You actually want to engage somebody. You would be like, hell, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. You actually want to be there.
after the movie is shot and filmed and it goes to post-production sound, there's these one special dudes that are called Foley artists. And all they do is they watch the movie and they put in basic sound effects that they want to freshly record. And these guys have a pretty cool job because they make all right money and they come to work every day in sweatpants. Because they don't want clothes that make that ruffling sound when they're doing something. They might be recording footsteps, but they don't want corduroy pants to be in the background making some weird sound.
So what Chekhov says is, well, if you want to be if you got to get angry or whatever, just go up to something and just, and then all of a sudden that gets the blood flowing, and you find yourself in a state where you're like, hey, dude, why are you filming me right now? I don't like that. What's going on? Critical people. You get hit with your own demons. I can't do this. We got a sheet in there. I gave you all the excuses. I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm not good looking, I'm too short. Too many family problems. My mom wants me to be a doctor, which is good. But you got a dream. How many of you have dreams?
Find out what works for you. People tell you that you have to write outlines and treatments and this and that before you actually sit down to write a screenplay. When I started, I didn't do that. I felt really guilty because I felt like I wasn't a real writer.
So he gets to go, it's a huge movie, so they have all this money, so they were able to get a hold of the military. And he gets to go out with the military and watch them shoot all their big guns and record it. So they have all these crazy sounds. He got to go up in like an Osprey, one of those big crazy helicopters that like tilts their propellers everywhere. He got to go ride in one of those to get those propeller sounds, to get all of these sounds, because they're all stuff you use. You might use this wind turbine for this sound, or this propeller sound for this.
And then I heard an interview with Frank Darabont, who wrote Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, and he was the showrunner on The Walking Dead. And he said he never writes with an outline. He likes the script to be more organic, and he likes the screenplay to tell him where it's going to go, instead of having a fixed outline in place. And when I heard that, I was just blown away, and I was like, okay, if he can do it, because Shawshank is my all-time favorite movie, then I guess I can do it too.
I love what Lance Madsey has been doing with this program. I think it's really pushing the envelope. He's so avant-garde for the state, and the kids are putting out really great stuff. I'm really looking forward to this festival. Loving the idea of seeing it for the first time and only having 10 minutes to decide who wins what.
Oh good, it's a family film. So, you're writing a logline for a family film about a gangster at the International Space Station. You've got 2 minutes. But to have this at your fingertips and to be able to really explore your artistic spirit and it being embraced by the school, and it's amazing. I mean, it's awesome. I wish I had had that when I was your age.
And now we have a short film called The First Date, which was produced and directed by Caitlin Cooper.
We also have cheesecake. you know what IB stands for? Because I don't. So let's find out.
Rather than offering advanced placements courses or honors courses, Natrona County High School offers international baccalaureate courses. These courses are designed to be of high rigor for students who are of advanced placement, but also designed to teach them analyzing and critical thinking skills. However, what exactly is the International Baccalaureate Program?
So IB really emphasizes the ability to analyze.
Could ask students to move beyond what they're used to push themselves further than they had previously in their academic career.
The topics that we cover, we are doing it at a college level. I mean, the labs are more complex. There's a lot more writing, lab reports, things like that. So it's at a much higher level.
Also, part of IB is the autonomy in student learning. We ask the students to, especially by the time they get into their senior year, they're really taking charge of their learning. We guide them through, but a lot of the understanding and the information is found by the students.
What I love about IB is the international mindedness of it, that it's not just about us, it's about the world. It's about how we can go out and we can make the world a better place, how we can take those skills and change people's lives.
With all the construction going on, drama doesn't really have a place to perform. So with everything going on, I think they're doing a really great job.
And I want to run them through the center of the class. This class in this section is really important. It's the lighting or the visibility of theater that we're teaching. You can do rock concerts with it. You see these stresses a lot in your rock concerts. A lot of professional lighting designers are even going to corporate venues where a company rents out a space and they hire a lighting designer to come in and make cool lighting effects for their corporate conferences. And it kind of teaches them to work with the newer technology to do kind of that stuff.
Well, mainly we're kind of tired because it's early in the morning, but at the same time, we're all ready to kind of get this done so we can eat donuts.
Because our theater is under remodel, and we currently don't have anywhere to play or design lights and do fun stuff like we normally do. So this is our new theater, pretty much. Let's run that one like that. That way, when we go to focus a light, it gives us a little bit more play, and we're not binding on anything. Jordan!
10 minutes ago, I met you.
I saw you. I looked up when you came through the door. My head started reeling. You gave me the feeling. The room had no ceiling or floor.
The exciting thing about what we've got set up here is we get to kind of show off the new stuff that we're going to be getting in the new construction before it happens, so students get a preview of it. All of these lights up here are LED, which is great because we can control color, we can control intensity. The old style lights were like one of these things, and in order to change color, you had to put pieces of colored film in front of it. But once you set that color, that light is always going to be that color. The new equipment with the LED lights and the new lighting board is going to allow us a lot more control with a lot fewer instruments. And it kind of gives students a preview, a taste of what we're going to have in the new building. So we're really excited to get this thing up. In the new classroom, the whole classroom will have a lighting grid above it, so we can do all of this same stuff on a larger scale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next up is a film created, produced, and directed by our very own Lance Madzi, featuring another NC teacher, Herr Wallace.
Here we have Cameron. How's your night going, Cameron?
Oh, it's going great. There's free food, so I don't really have a reason to complain.
What do you enjoy most about the open house so far?
The free food.
Fair enough.
What activities are you interested in?
Drama club, anime club, chess club, possibly the Glee club.
And of course NCTV, right?
Haven't watched that much of it.
Ooh, ouch, my heart. All right, I think that's good.
Hi, Mom.
Is that smoke?
No, I'm just baking cookies.
And remember, fire is everyone's fight, not just mine. Take him away, boys!
When you're tired and smoke, you fall asleep smoking on the couch. When you fall asleep smoking on the couch, your couch catches on fire. And when your couch catches on fire, you catch fire. And when you catch fire, Hannibal Lecter smells dinner. Don't let Hannibal Lecter smell dinner. Get residential sprinklers in your home today. When the temperature reaches 155 degrees, the glass will shatter. When the glass shatters, water will disperse. And when water disperses, it douses the flames.
Do you like electricity? Do you like shocking but find tasers too extreme? The Vandegraph in this next video is just for you.
Jeopardy theme song?
Yeah, it's supposed to start from down there and come all the way down, and then when you touch this, everyone else is supposed to feel it.
Oh! Put your hand on it now. Rubber band basically is spinning around there and it's connecting this metal thing over there and it builds up electrons. So the electrons get built up in one area and when you touch it, they move from one area to another.
I'm scared.
Good.
Get away! You can hear it. He all twitches. Oh, there.
Here at NC, we have foreign exchange students, and we also have 2 of them in an interview.
Hello, and welcome to NCTV. Today, we will be talking with Elise Verboemen.
Hi.
And me, Peter Bakken. We will be discussing life in America and how it is living as an exchange student.
Hello, so you're an exchange student too. That's awesome. And that's why I really want to know a little bit about you. And you want to know a little bit about me, right?
Are we gonna... Jeg er her for å studere og ha det gøy I USA. I'm here to study and to have fun in the US.
J'adore l'Amérique, c'est vraiment super chouette, je m'amuse super bien. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui sont différentes, mais j'adore. I love America, it's like really different, but I really love it, and yeah, people are really cool.
Jeg snakker norsk, engelsk og snakker litt fransk. I speak Norwegian, English and a little bit French.
Je parle français, néerlandais et anglais. I speak French, Dutch and English.
Generelt folk litt høyere enn I USA, men ikke like høy som meg. Generally, people are pretty tall. They're a bit taller than in the USA, but not as tall as me.
My dad was in Paris when that happened, and Paris is like just 3 hours from Brussels, so we're really concerned about what's going on there. And yeah, so we talk a lot about that, and in my school, I'm sure they're talking about that all the time too.
Jeg har lyst til å drive med PR og kanskje bli PR-sjef for et firma et eller annet sted, muligens I USA senere. I want to work in PR, maybe PR management, and and maybe study or work in the USA later in life. Thank you so much for watching NCTV, and thank you to Elise for being a good sport about it.
You're welcome. Peter, I love you.
Goodbye.
Many Wyoming drivers know how easy it is to slide around in the snow. Here are some tips to be safe out there.
Every year driving in adverse weather claims the lives of 7,000 Americans and is responsible for the injury of 800,000 more. Analysts say the economic toll of weather-related crashes is at $42 billion. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation advises that you clear your window of snow and ice and drive with your headlights on. It may also be necessary to keep a spare battery indoors in case your car will not start. Auto collisions spike during the winter months, and it is important to exercise caution while driving. Even though winter driving may be dangerous numerically, it is important to remember that more fatalities occur during fair weather, likely because the perceived threat of a collision is less.
Do you love to dance? If so, the dance team at NC is perfect for you. We are in dance team practice. We're the NCHS dance team. I'm the head coach, AJ Campbell, and we're just working on a new routine. A jazz routine, and it's Mama Knows Best by Jessie J. We do Tuesday through Friday, 6:15 to 7:45.
Next up is a music video called Dear Love.
Hi, my name is Adrian Ashley, and I'm a musician at NCHS. I got started in music when I was 3. I started singing in front of people, just at Christmas parties and stuff like that. And then I started playing the guitar when I was 7, and that's what I've been doing ever since, and that's all I see myself doing later on. The song that you're just about to hear is called Dear Love. It's just about this relationship between how you feel like with your heart and like what you hate about it, what you love about it, and just how a big complicated mess it can be. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Dear love, you're sneaky and tricky and making me dizzy and fall right down on the ground. And then really makes me wonder how you can push me under so far I can't hardly breathe. And you gave me such a fright, but I know it's just right when I can feel you right under my skin. When you're up, you bring me down, you turn it all around, but you know I can hardly keep up with you, love. Yeah, love, you're loud and so demanding, but you're soft and understanding. I hate what you do to me. You make me laugh, you make me cry without any reason why, but you still got a hold on me. You follow where I go and I don't even know, but you're there to catch my fall. Dear love. Dear love. Dear love.
We've officially been live for a whole entire hour. You know what else is interesting? A debate between 2 NCTV people.
I want to play Fallout 4 though.
It just came out. I know. I want to go home too, but we can't do that.
Why not?
Because we have to be here. This is where we belong.
But I get exclusive content for the first 48 hours.
That is cool, but guess what? School.
Dots.
No, they looked like chocolate chips. They had a flat base and a round top.
But they were fully round when they were landing in my hand. They looked like the Dots ice cream, the little balled up ice cream things that look like ice crystals.
I promise you, it looked like they were raindrops cut in half. Krampus.
Krampus
or Krampus, yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be too scary. It's gonna be more like ruin your childhood kind of thing.
I think it would be funny to see.
I mean, because
I don't think it's gonna be scary.
Atomic Andy.
It's Pip-Boy.
His name's Atomic Andy.
But listen, his iconic device is Pip-Boy. Everybody's gonna know him by Pip-Boy.
Yes, but it's the Pip-Boy company. Their mascot was called Atomic Andy.
Fallout 4 just came out.
Yeah.
After you, sir.
Pass the door.
Hey! It's not. All right, let's see the friendly faces. NC Choir. Okay.
The question is, why are people so attracted to the face? One reason is symmetry. Studies show that people like symmetry in all things, from art to natural objects to faces. Let's see if your face has symmetry. Hardwired in a way that makes it easier to process symmetric stimuli than it is to process asymmetric stimuli. In the end, symmetry is a visual cue for attractiveness judgments of faces.
Hang on. The amount of... And I am back. Sorry about that, Dakota. Okay, I'm here with Dakota Gear, the battalion commander of the JROTC battalion here at NC. Dakota, what do you like about NC?
My favorite thing about NC is definitely the school spirit we have here. We have so many people that show up for all the pepper assemblies and all our various sports that we have. It's probably it's definitely my most favorite thing about NC.
What events can you do with JROTC?
With JROTC, we do all the events that you can think of. This actual weekend, tomorrow, we're going up to help the ski team. We're going to be the gate counters, I guess.
Gatekeepers?
Gatekeepers, sorry. And we're just going to help them. We're going to help them do that so they don't have to pay for anyone. We also help with the BLM, or the Bureau of Land Management. This year we helped enwrap trees, and so the beavers won't eat them. So it'll protect our wildlife.
Okay. And what is your role in the battalion?
In the battalion, I'm the battalion commander, so I'm in charge of almost everything that happens with the battalion. I overlook all of my staff to make sure that everything gets done smoothly.
Okay, do you have anything more to add about NC?
It's fantastic. Thanks for choosing us.
And who leads the Mustang Battalion?
Our leaders are the SAI and AI, or the Senior Army Instructor and Army Instructor. They're Lieutenant Colonel Smoter and First Sergeant Reeves. They're the head honchos of our Mustang Battalion.
And what is this poster right behind us?
This poster, I made this poster, and it's a recruiting poster. We put it up in some of the junior highs. You guys may have seen it, and it's just to give you a little bit of information about what we do as the routes.
And I took those pictures, so you know. But anyways, thank you, Dakota, for that interview, and I am going to send it back to the newsroom. Back to you guys.
Well, my name's Sergio Alberto Martinez, or Sergio. You know, I'm from Los Mochis, Sinaloa. I was born and raised there for a little while. Then I moved up to Farmington, New Mexico, lived there for about 4 years. We train pretty hard, you know, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You know, we got to be strong, on all sides and everything, you know what I mean? Went back down to Chihuahua. Delicias, where my mom's from. I lived there for about like another 3.5 years, and I came back up to Casper, Wyoming, where my dad lived. But I felt pretty good, It's one of the goals, I wanted to achieve as a person, Well, from my perspective, it was pretty, it was pretty good. Like, I told you that first round, I saw those long arms and I was like, oh, shoot, like, dang it, I can't get in. I'm having trouble with the jab and everything. And I went back in and, my coach wasn't there. It was Ryan Silva. He was in my corner, he's one of the elder boxers, it's been there for a while. He's all like, just have fun. That's all. It's about having fun. Started having fun, started getting in and everything, working those angles, and all of a sudden those long arms weren't a problem for me. Well, the significance of the belt means that, that this is one of many things I can achieve in life. Just because I won this one, doesn't mean I'm not going to win any other one, This is going to inspire me to keep on going and going and going to the point where, like, they stop me. I don't stop myself.
Jobs for women in the military have opened up quite a bit in the past few years. Let's see just how many more are available to them.
They've been in the military through history, whether they're supposed to be there or not. We've had women you can go back to Joan of Arc, you can go back to Molly Pitcher, you can go back to the Civil War, where women, in the Revolutionary War, women disguised themselves to be in the military. So they've already, they've always kind of been there. We're finally getting to the point where we can recognize it. When I started in the Army in 1970, women, I think, it was still a women's Army Corps. So there was a real distinct separation. And then somewhere mid-70s, early 80s, the Women's Army Corps went away, and the women were integrated into the Army. And so again, they had their own barracks and they had their own facilities, but they started doing jobs, the same jobs they were doing, but they were now part of the Army. I was an infantry officer in the military. So we were the last bastion, along with the armor, the artillery, and special operations. We were the last male bastion in the Army. It was like, women are not coming in my foxhole, end of conversation. That was the opinion in the day. It's not going to happen, but now it's going to happen. My master's degrees in physical education and taking exercise physiology and anatomy, there's some differences there. Just in muscle mass and those things, you got to go. And kind of in the back of my mind was always that thing, well, you can carry that 85-pound rucksack, come on. Because it's a load. They're packing a load. And that's a strenuous course for 13 weeks. You will find out what you're made out of when you finish that school. You'll find out real deep inside what you're made out of. Have I looked on it with, kind of a slanted eye? Not really. It's like, okay, they have a job to do it. We grew as an army and changed as a society and changed as an army as part of society's change. We started looking at this, and then it became, I think, some women in the service challenged and said, I want to do these things. This should be open to us. This whole list, I think there was 33 or 34 different studies that were all presented to the Secretary of the Army, all the service secretaries, and the Secretary of Defense, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. And and then of course women graduate from Ranger School, and it's like, wait a minute, we can do this. Obviously, they've proven that they can do this. So today, or I guess effective the 1st of January, I think, according to Secretary of Defense, all these jobs will be open to women.
Let's do it another time.
If you're feeling old, you're probably living. If you're feeling bold, you're probably living. Time flies so fast. Time flies so fast. I remember times Time flies so fast. Time flies so fast. Time flies so fast. Time flies so fast.
Let's go again.
Hi, I am back here with Kelly and Kessie. Girls, what do you guys like about NC so far?
That they have like lots of programs and like activities that you can do and have like good test scores. So yeah, it's like athletic and academic at the same time. So.
All right, and you girls are from D. Morgan. Is that
Do you want me to
correct?
sit on that side? So.
Okay, and do you guys do any sports at D. Morgan?
Or you want me with that side?
What sports?
Yeah.
Volleyball and basketball and track.
And track? All right. So if you guys go to NC, what programs would you be interested in taking?
The IB program. Sports, I guess. I don't know. NCTV.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, girls. All right, and back to you guys.
You know, I've been an artist since I was 18, and I was a mural painter for quite a few years, and I started doing like symmetrical ceiling murals in old houses where there would be a chandelier. My style represented kind of tribal tattoo styles.
I'm Nick Pond. This is my tattoo, and I got it because my family was going to go get tattoos together, and we all wanted one that would say family forever, and I just haven't gone back and got family yet.
My name is Chandler. I got my tattoo when I was a sophomore, and it's Braille. It says blessed with a curse, and I got it because I'm going blind.
I just love the permanency of it. I just love how extreme it is. I really enjoy when people come to me with really crazy ideas and they want to go bold and do something kind of extreme and shocking. And just everything about it. The tattoo world is just pretty cool. The first tattoo that I got, it was kind of funny. I couldn't make up my mind for about a year what I wanted. My friends and I went to Fort Collins to get tattooed at the Millennium, and I couldn't make up my mind, so I got an armband of question marks.
My name's William Johns, and I've got a tattoo. And the reason why I've got it is because I got it from my dad. He passed 3 years ago, so I figured I'd do a memorial for him.
I'm here with Brady. What do you think of the NCHS open house so far?
Good.
What's your favorite part so far? Are there any activities that you're interested in taking when you come to NCHS one day?
I don't know.
Would you consider NCTV?
Never heard of it.
Well, that's what this is. Next up, we have a story about what people's views of what were on Star Wars before it was released.
At NC we are. Star Wars interviews we have done. Asked them we did, light side or dark side of the Force. What they said this is.
I think the new Star Wars is probably going to be good. I think people are concerned because Disney has rights to Star Wars. But from what I understand, George Lucas is working with them, and I really like what Disney has done with Disney Pixar movies. So I think they can turn Star Wars into something our new generation can love and the old generation won't hate.
I think the new Star Wars movie has a lot of potential, meaning it could be ruined by something, but I don't think it will.
It's going to be awesome.
Probably Darth Maul got a super cool glider and his black hood and his horns and red and black face, just connected as a little kid with the troublemaker.
My favorite character would have to be Qui-Gon Jinn.
Two favorite characters. I think the best villain in any movie of all time has to be Darth Vader. He is awesome. But you can't beat Han Solo. He is the man. He's awesome.
I'd have to say the light side overall.
Yeah, maybe dark side, but most days the light side.
Strong is the force within. Carefully they must be slipped into the dark side. They must not feel with the lies of the Sith. Dominic, all that is we have. The force may be with you.
In a place that snows so much, Casper, Wyoming definitely needs city plows.
A, B, or C level streets, so we do arterials for like ambulances and school routes, and B levels for primary streets to get people back and forth. There would be no possible way to get all the streets plowed. The homeowners are responsible for clearing sidewalks on their own property, and the parks. There's a parks division that does it in the parkways. Because it's their property, so if we were to damage their lawn or something like that, then we'd be liable for it.
Next up, Shayla has a story on the smoking ban.
Tuesday of last week, the City of Casper held a special election regarding the smoking ban. We spoke with Rodetto, the county clerk.
Yesterday, voters went to the polls. If they were City of Casper residents only, they could vote on a smoking referendum that the city was presenting to the voters again. It's been going on since 2000. Where they did the original referendum for a smoking ban. And if they voted for this referendum, it allowed smoking in the bars, private clubs, private businesses, and nursing homes in specified areas. And if they voted against it, then it would put it back to a complete smoking ban in the city, which that is the way the voters voted. It was 53.76% against, and then 46.22% for. There for a while it was we had to be 50 feet away. If people were going to smoke, it had to be 50 feet away from any entrance into a public building if it was outside. But no smoking inside the buildings. Anywhere, not even if good ventilation.
The Science Zone is a very fun place, and it just so happens Nick Pond was being interviewed.
We spoke with Rodetto, the county clerk.
The Science Zone is located under Slumberland Furniture in downtown Casper. The Science Zone has many things to offer. Our current exhibits are When the Earth Shakes, which has things like a tsunami tester where you set up your own Lego wall and see if it can withstand the might of tsunami. It also has things like an earthquake maker where you set up your structure and see if it will withstand, and other things to see if you can match the vibrations of a tsunami, and a few other stuff in that exhibit. We have things like the Inventor's Workshop, which is where you go and you build things so they're more interactive for kids. We have a small zoo downstairs featuring a variety of animals. We also have things like a vanograph, a Bernoulli blower, shadow wall, and a few other exhibits downstairs. But we also do things like after-school programs to help students with their homework and to teach them more about science, which is aimed mostly at younger kids, but we have different levels for different age groups. And we also do things like birthday parties on the weekends where we can do different experiments like liquid nitrogen, bouncy balls, slime, and a variety of other things as well.
Next up, Tabitha Vogt talks about the wage gap.
Since the dawn of time, women have been considered less than men. Let's hear your thoughts.
76 cents.
Like 65 and 70 cents.
Like 72 cents to $1. If we want the same pay, we better be performing the same job.
If a woman has the same qualifications, education, experience, and so on, they should be treated equally.
I think that women are absolutely just as capable as men.
I think there's a pay gap because men and women have different responsibilities in their private lives. Women oftentimes have the responsibility of raising children.
Because women have different roles, sometimes we're just held back from being able to do all things at once. The nurturing mother role and the career person role, and I feel like sometimes those two things conflict, and it shortens the amount of time, the years that we can go after a career.
Women don't seem to get the opportunity to get the training that men do.
Men and women are different. We are built different, and we have different gifts.
If the gap were closed, I think both men and women would have the opportunity to stay at home if they chose and raise their family without criticism.
Obviously, it'd be better for the economy. We have what's called purchasing power, so the gap would close and we'd be able to keep more money in the communities, which helps everybody out.
I think the gap's closing.
It would increase revenues all the way around in our economy. It would boost our economy.
Would we get better performance across the board? Maybe. Would it not change performance? Maybe. I don't know.
The third largest pay gap happens here in Wyoming, and I think it's because of our industries, and men have the opportunity to make a lot more money.
It's true women make 78 cents to every man's dollar. It is illegal for your employer to discriminate against race, age, sex, religion, or disability. Even a small gap makes a big difference.
To be a musician is a huge deal, but to be an independent musician, now that takes some courage.
I first started making music when I was like 12 years old. Went and picked up my first guitar from just some antique shop. It was just some $75 like little beaten up piece of crap. It barely worked, but it did the trick. You know, for 12 years old, you don't need anything high end. So just having that, you know, something that would just make the sounds was enough for me. I mean, one of the first songs I was able to learn how to play was Sugar by System of a Down. My advice would be, if you're an aspiring musician and you feel like you have the tunes out there that'll gain the kind of popularity you want, stop. Don't do it for popularity. Don't do it to try and get attention from a certain crowd. Make the music that you want to make. Don't ever be like trapped by the boundaries of a certain genre or a certain instrument. Don't be afraid to try and just go out there and just pick up something new.
Next on our agenda is Theodore the Fish.
So this is an eco-column experiment that my IB, Environmental Systems and Societies class, is investigating. And basically, if you look closely, there are 3 chambers. There's an aquatic chamber, which has pond water, pond grasses, and a betta fish. There's a decomposition chamber, which has soil, leaf debris, and some bugs. And this is a terrestrial chamber where we're growing arugula lettuce in some soil. In our aquatic chamber, we're testing water quality, so things like dissolved oxygen, pH of the water, and the clarity of the water, or what we call turbidity. In the other two chambers, we are testing things like carbon dioxide, oxygen, temperature, and humidity. And so trying to track those levels throughout the 2 or 3 months that we work on this experiment. My students are measuring different levels of fertilizer concentration. For example, this one's receiving 1% fertilizer each time it's watered, and this one's receiving 10% fertilizer. Even though this is a micro ecosystem, and it might give us results for a small ecosystem, it doesn't do well to extrapolate those results to a much larger ecosystem because there are so many variables. We can't control just one.
A job is a job, and it just so happens Tress Play Club is going to talk about waiting tables.
Waiting tables is complicated just because I have a lot of social anxiety, so I get really caught up in how I'm going to behave towards someone. I try to be really positive, but I know that I weird people out. So I have to know my special safety level that people are like, oh, she's really nice and not creepy. It's really hard to time when you check on someone because you don't want to be over their shoulder all the time, like, hey, how's that second bite of your salad? But at the same time, you don't want to be gone because you make people upset. But housekeeping is completely different because you get a really tight restricted time limit and you have a lot of physical work to do, and most of the actual cleaning isn't hard, but because everything has to look pretty, you spend a lot of time straightening everything out and adding a bunch of little pieces, setting yourself a course of action that is the most efficient, the most time effective, that you still get everything as clean as possible. And there's a safety matter as well. I got chemical burns all over the backs of my hands. I had to wear gloves to tuck beds because the pores on the backs of my hands are bleeding. Someone mixed my chemicals. I really want to be open with people, because my mind races all over the place, and when you work at a restaurant you have to do 9 things at once and you have to be really quick about it, and so it worked for me really well. I know how to do all these things. It's just physically demanding.
Doing it, or do you?
Yeah.
Are you sure? What if you look away?
Right now we have
What if you
Dreesing
look
sitting
at
with
me?
us. And what we're going to talk about next is kiosk, which you should be seeing our pretty faces on right now.
Throughout NCHS, you might have noticed these new kiosks. These kiosks were implemented to help build a better community throughout the students and help us be more successful. There are 6 kiosks throughout the whole campus of NCHS and more to be upgraded throughout the years. We talked to Ms. Harris to help us better understand what these are used for.
So the kiosks, I ordered those. I wrote a grant last spring. It was one of the things that I wanted to bring to Natrona County High School to improve communication and to recognize students and staff. And I also hope to use them for advertising. I really just got them. I just thought in such a large school, it was something that we could put out there that kids could interact with, that would increase our communication and just give students another avenue to know what was going on. And they were about $47,000 for the 6 kiosks. We're still figuring out how to use them. As you can see, we haven't gotten very far. We do have our web page up. They have the capability, like you guys asked me, the card readers. They will use our student IDs, or they have the capability to use our student ID barcodes to check in and out of, say, the library, or a credit card to buy prom tickets and stuff like that. And those are all applications that we could expand to down the road that we didn't start with initially. So I think we've just barely got them in, got them up and running, and now we're trying to figure out how all we can use them and best utilize their capabilities. And it's a little bit over my head, so it's going to take some training.
You look back and forth like this, constantly, like this.
Are you guys enjoying the NCHS open house?
Yes.
How about you?
Yes.
What's your favorite part so far?
Food.
Me too. You too? Do you guys like ice cream?
Yes.
What's
Do you know what to do with your hands?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Ice cream has always been one of America's favorite desserts. Here at Bliss Yogurt, there's 14 different flavors. Let's go check it out.
Ice cream originated in China from 1617 to 97 AD. Until 1800, ice cream was a rare and exotic dessert enjoyed mostly by the elite. Nowadays, the average American consumes almost 22 pounds of ice cream per year. 87% of Americans have ice cream in their freezer at any given moment. New Zealand is the top ice cream consuming country in the world. 1 in 10 people admit to licking the bowl clean after eating ice cream, and 1 in 5 share with their pet. This year, National Ice Cream Day is on Sunday, July 17th.
Well, there you have it from Bliss Frozen Yogurt. I'm Tabitha Vote, and this is NCTV. Have a great day.
Next on our list of items to do is talk about Fur Story. Do you have anything to say about that?
As far as the exhibit planning, it's really a staff team effort. Several months before we know we're going to install an exhibit, we start batting around ideas on things that we have in the museum collection that we'd like to show, maybe things that have not been out in a while. But even at that point, if there's things we want to show, is there a story that we can tell with it, some sort of an educational component? In this particular exhibit, one of the more interesting pieces is a horsehair coat and a pair of mittens that we have. And the story behind that was there was a local homesteader from Highland, Wyoming. His favorite horse died, so he ended up skinning it and shipping the hide off to be tanned and made into a coat and mittens. So that's sort of an interesting story. We have a bearskin coat here from a very early Natrona County sheriff. Used to wear that. This one probably originally came up as an idea about 6 months ago. And then it took a while to piece together the kind of story we wanted to tell and how we wanted to display the material. So months ago we started talking about the different types of furs that we have in the museum collection, and the end result is this Fur as Fashion exhibit that we have.
Next we have favorite TV shows and apparently favorite meals.
TV consumes the majority of people's time. Let's find out what's your favorite.
So my favorite TV show is The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Favorite TV show is The Big Bang Theory.
The Office.
Jesse Stone or Quilt in a Day.
Daryl is my favorite character, and I think I like Daryl the most because I would want him on my team for the zombie apocalypse.
Definitely Daryl.
Sheldon, because he's so weird. He makes me laugh.
And Jim Halpert.
Eleanor Burns for The Quilting Show. And Tom Selleck for Jesse Stone.
It's just like action-packed and whatnot, so it's fun to watch.
Because it shows that even nerds can have a life and get a hot girlfriend.
It's hilarious.
Quilting is my hobby, and Jesse Stone is cute.
According to the New York Daily News, the average American spends 5 hours watching live television. But let's be honest, it's really Netflix.
Fall may be over, but we still have this story.
A few days ago, 12th grade IB bio and chemistry classes went around Casper and observed the trees. A few winters ago, we had an intense snowfall that destroyed most of the trees. So they went around and observed the ecology from then and now.
So what we did was we went around Casper. We looked at the trees, keyed out the trees, and then we also looked at how much of the tree is living and dead, and used that information going forward to maybe save people money so that they don't spend money on trees that aren't going to live in this environment. And we really looked at the trees that are a little bit more hardy and have survived our really low temperatures from last year and the great snowfall from a couple years ago that all the trees were damaged.
Be a huge opinion all across this country. Here at NC, we got it.
Here we are, standing outside the Natrona County School District building, and this is where most of the meetings for the dress code took place, so we'll go inside and take a further look. And here we are standing inside the Jefferson room where most of the meetings took place for the dress code. And I can tell you, just standing here right now, it doesn't feel very, pressurized, but I'm sure things were very, very tense when the meetings were going on. Oh, and it does look like we have Jordan Yates, who was a big supporter of the dress code, and we also have Miss Mackey and Joe Sheridan. So let's go take a look at that.
Can you imagine? People are already in uproar about having to not show their stomach, right? Or spaghetti straps. However, could you imagine if we had to wear uniforms? People would really flip out, right? People are already flipping out.
I feel like they'd be forced to. Those board meetings are late at night, and if we have, 60 kids come up and speak for 3 minutes, that's going to take up so much of their time.
Dress code and cell phones. Attendance has always been an issue in schools, and dress code and cell phones change from generation to generation. So while we are used to those problems, we have problems now that I think are viewed as new and different and possibly solvable.
On change.org, it's gotten around 600 signatures as of now, and I just started it just as kind of just a side thought.
It's a good thing I already ate, because the culinary arts are up next.
Right now I'm in NC's kitchen. Why? To talk about culinary arts. And who better ask than Calvin, one of our culinary arts teachers. Let's see what he has to say.
Culinary arts is cooking food, but it's doing it with an artistic mindset, and it focuses, I think, instead of just cooking, you're focused more on flavors and the artistry of the plates. I think it's an important life skill for everyone to have. It's important for long-term health to be able to cook your own food and control what's going into your body. When I'm cooking for other people, I look at it from the viewpoint of how I would want them to treat my food if they were cooking for me. I want it to taste good. I want positive feedback when I make things for people. I think it kind of chose me. I never expected to cook. I didn't cook in high school. I got a job when I was in college, and I just really kind of fell in love with the whole idea of it. My favorite dish to cook is duck confit. I love the fact that it historically has significance. It was made before they had refrigeration, so that they could preserve meats for a longer period of time. That, and along with the flavor of it, is just incredible. It's my favorite thing to eat as well.
How do you make it?
It's a process where you cure duck legs in a mixture of salt and herbs and some other aromatics. For 24 hours, you rinse all the salt off, and then you cook it takes about 2 to 3 hours, and you cook it in its own fat.
Well, that's what I picked up for you. We hope you found that story as sweet and spicy as we did.
And here we have a short film called Sleepless by Kyle Plummer.
Have you ever gone a day without uttering a single word? A week? How about a year? I have. Well, at least everyone thought I had.
Time for breakfast.
When I was young, I had one best friend, and he was a fish.
Guess what? No school today. Harper, are you ready for church?
My words were not meant for anyone else but him. At least, that's what I thought.
You can't bring him with you, you know that.
I developed an unnatural obsession with all things fish, and to my mother, that was the least of my problems.
Harper, did you pick your shoes up? The cleaning ladies are coming.
My mom always wanted things to be perfect. A perfect house with a perfect family to match.
And 2 small fish. Jesus said, have the people sit down. There are plenty of grass.
In my mother's effort to cure me of my unsociable traits, church became a regular habit.
Because only the men were important that day. Actually, there was 8,000 to 10,000 people.
The thing is, I was more focused on the stories than I was on the people.
And he distributed to those
and mostly fish.
As much as they wanted. Interesting about the original language there. Jesus actually took the barley loaves. He actually took the fish, held them in his hand, and he broke them repeatedly as the disciples dispersed them in ministry. Then he took a hold of the fish, 2 small fish, held them in his hands, blessed them, took a hold of them, and broke them apart, dispersed them to all the people. He continued for 8,000 to 10,000 people, dispersing the fish. And the scripture says they all had enough to eat.
Loss is like the first snow. It's really goddamn disappointing, and nobody knows how to drive.
Fishy, 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 fishy. Fishy, fishy.
I lost my fish on a cold November morning. But I wasn't going to let a little snow get in the way. But sometimes the snow can bury even the warmest hearts. I am not sure why I decided to pick up those glasses, but I'm glad I did. It's funny how a single touch can change your life forever.
Oh, sorry. My name is Nicholas. What's yours?
How what starts as just a name
Are you looking for something too?
turns into a person.
I'm looking for my glasses.
A single question can lead to a word, a conversation.
Thank you. Where did you find them? You don't talk much, do you? If you want, I can help you find your fish. What's its name?
His name. It was Harper Jr., but then it turned out to be something else. It doesn't matter anyways. He only responds to me.
Fishy! Fishy!
Fishy! Fishy! Fishy! He's gone forever.
He'll turn up. I know.
I gotta go home. It's time for dinner. I can't even look anymore.
I'll watch you.
And for a small moment, I believed I had found what my mother had been searching for. But I was under the impression that all good things must end.
Are you staying for dinner?
No, I gotta get home. But thanks.
If my fish left, why wouldn't you? If only I hadn't lost him. That's what was running through my mind. I must have been there for hours, and out of some inspired determination, I made up my mind that I had to see you. If you never lose anything, you can never find it. That is when I found my fish. His name? I don't know if I ever told you. It was happiness. Loss is a lot like the first snow. It's disappointing, but if you look at it right, it's absolutely beautiful. I am glad I lost the fish because I found happiness, even if it was temporary. And now, after all those years, I am once again speechless.
Hi, I am back here for the final time tonight. I'm here with Jordan Yates. Jordan, what do you like about NC?
I really love NC for the fact that there's just a great student body, a great sense of community, and great leadership from the top down.
Okay, and what do you do here at NC? What programs are you in?
I'm involved in speech and debate and also theater.
What do you like about speech and debate?
Speech and debate's great. It's a great chance to learn public speaking skills as well as just generally communication, and I've really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, tonight's been a very eventful night. This is Kevin Thompson from NCTV News, signing off.
In the words of Frankenstein's monster, fire bad.
Especially the Cold Creek fire.
The Cold Creek Fire burned 10,000 acres last week in Evansville, Wyoming, destroying 14 primary residences and numerous other buildings. Natrona County Emergency Management Lieutenant Stu Anderson spoke with NCTV about protecting individuals and homes from fire.
And our emphasis is always on, and our first priority always is life safety. And that was to try to get as many folks warned and out of there as we could. The fuels were what we call light fuels, grasses. But it was 3 years of growth. It's 2 years that grew, and then this year was, if you will, a bumper crop of grasses because of our wet spring. So we had just about 3 years of dried fuel to burn with a 50-mile-an-hour wind. In that case, it makes the fire extremely fast, extremely hot, and it's hard to, if you will, to catch up to it. Homeowners, businesses, they can, get a hold of our office, get a hold of the fire department, get a hold of state forestry, get a hold of Wyoming Firewise, get online and get the information on how can I make my home more defensible. And it gives information on how to become more defensible. Make sure the driveway's clear, make sure, that vegetation's cut down, you don't have tree limbs hanging over your house where if that tree catches fire, it can catch your roof on fire. Just lots of different things homeowners can do to hopefully prevent an impact like this happening to their home.
Presently, the American Red Cross is helping victims of the Cold Creek Fire. Individuals should be aware of the fire dangers and prepare their homes accordingly.
We are always doing lots of different things, but today what we did was we scribed a letter so we could write a letter to the neighbors that neighbor NC on both, or all three sides actually, so that we can go and visit with them. But the idea was that we may have been doing some things that what you might call somewhat unneighborly, and we thought there was an opportunity for us to reach out to the neighborhood and say, hey, this is what we'd like to do to help, and how can we help? The idea is that we have leadership class every day for an hour and a half, and we have great kids in there, great young people that are willing to go and do things. So what we said was, how can we help make your life a little bit better, so that we don't have an unneighborly feel about us and that we are taking care of our neighbors. Well, we are actually, after we put this letter together, one class will do one side of the school, the other class will do the other side of the school. We're going to go door to door, knock on the door, and tell them who we are, tell them we're from the leadership class, and see if they've got any needs or concerns that we might be able to help them with. And then we're actually going to set up a day here in the next week or so where I'll tell my leadership students to please wear old clothes and bring their gloves, because we're actually going to do a cleanup project in the neighborhoods. And like I said, one class will be responsible for one side of the school and the other class for the other side. Communication. Communication is always the key. Usually when people get unhappy or upset, it's because of poor communication. If we'd have known about issues or problems sooner, we'd have jumped on it sooner, okay? And so, yeah, as long as we keep that line of communications open, they'll have a phone number on the paper where they can call me directly, and they can also call the main office and visit with the main office. So as long as they're able to communicate and feel like that their voice is being heard, I think that'll take care of our problems.